Hello and welcome to the City of Whittlesea Business Network podcast. I'm your host, Amy Bajada, a member of both the City of Whittlesea Business Network and Business Advisory Panel, but also a proud small business owner based in Doreen. Together with the City of Whittlesea, we're sharing local stories and insights that matter to our community of businesses. We recognise the rich Aboriginal heritage of this country and acknowledge the Wurundjeri, Willem clan and Tangarung people as the traditional owners of lands within the City of Whittlesea. This podcast is all about celebrating the incredible stories of local businesses, the people, the passion and the progress shaping our region. Whether you're a fellow business owner, a future entrepreneur or just someone curious about what makes our community thrive, this podcast is for you. Let's get started and connect through the heart of the City of Whittlesea's business network. In this episode, it's great to have Nick Costanzo with me from Nick's Negozio. Nick's Gnocchi Pasta is a Melbourne-based artisan pasta business founded by Nick in 2019. Inspired by the strong bond that he had with his nonna, Nick began crafting homemade gnocchi and pasta from his childhood playroom, which he later transformed into a commercial kitchen. Over the years, the business has expanded its offerings to include a variety of pastas, sauces, and gluten-free options, all made with the same commitment to quality and authenticity. Nick's products are available for delivery across Melbourne and at local markets or independent stockists, reflecting his ongoing commitment to community engagement and culinary excellence. In 2025, Nick's Gnocchi Pasta moved into a dedicated factory space in Mill Park, with a final stage recently completed to home a retail outlet called Nick's Negozio, making a significant milestone in the company's growth. The business continues to honour the legacy of Nonna's cooking and now also Nick's Yaya, expanding products from Nick's Italian heritage and adding new products to honour his Greek heritage, bringing the warmth and tradition of Mediterranean cuisine to homes throughout the region. Welcome, Nick.
Thank you for having me.
So I want to go back to where it all began because this business has such a beautiful origin story and it's clear it's about more than just pasta. How did Nick Negozio's come to life and what was the inspiration behind starting the business in the first place?
So it started in 2019. It started off with my core business, Nick's Gnocchi Pasta. And basically, fast track now, it's my sort of dream coming true. But a lot's happened in between now and back then. So it started off just making pasta at home as a hobby, pastime, also to reconnect with my grandparents who passed away. So also getting that heritage because things get lost once previous generations pass on. So just keeping up tradition in that way. And coincidentally, we had a bushfire. We had a pretty bad summer in 2019. There was the East Gippsland bushfires, and then we had the Plenty Gorge bushfires, which pretty much got, I think, 100 metres away from our home.
Wow.
So went through, we are from Greensborough, but we're back onto the Plenty Gorge, and that's the Whittlesea, City of Whittlesea side. So basically a few properties got damaged there, and I thought, wow, imagine the people East Gippsland that lost everything. So my brother and I raised, I think it was $1,000. We had to put a halt to it because we were making handmade gnocchi. And then it sort of just snowballed from there. People wanted more.
Amazing.
And yeah, working from home for a while. And then finally, I guess in a professional setting, we relocated to the City of Whittlesea in Mill Park, still backing onto the Plenty Gorge, not far away from home. And then finally, I'm opening up Nick's Negozio, which is my shop, and I can have a place where people can come in, shop pasta and more. And really, my dream is coming true. So it's taken 6 years in the making.
Yeah, but you seem to have moved relatively quickly from...
Really quickly.
Yeah.
I think COVID, the years during COVID assisted food businesses like myself, but it also made it a bit of a blur. So I pretty much finished, I graduated in 2018 and then I started making pasta ever since. And then I got through COVID. It was great, kept me busy, but then also it allowed me to sort of build on my business and make it grow. And then now in this brick and mortar setting located in Mill Park, it's really just come all together. And that 6 years it's just one big blur.
I'm going to come back to your outlet in Mill Park. I really want to talk a bit about that, but I want to talk about the whole starting a business from home and turning your childhood playroom into a commercial kitchen. That's next level, my friend. What were those early days like, and what made you decide that it was time to take the first big step from kitchen to something more official?
I think it was the growth was just so quick. And again, going back to that blur, I remember we started just before COVID. So people sort of knew what we were about. We renovated the playroom as kids. I guess it's still a playroom of some sort, but to do work now. And without the help of my parents, none of that would have been possible. Dad was very hands-on, very good like that. He still is. And we pretty much changed the whole playroom, made it into a commercial domestic kitchen. So it was good because I learned the process. I learned all of what you need to do. And that's why it's come so smoothly in the Mill Park premises. But we transformed that. We had about 5 freezers running at home. We couldn't really keep up with stock. We had people knocking on our door any time of day asking for pasta because they thought we were a shop, even though the picture on Google clearly has a house. But Nick always has to be happy. So, yeah, sure, you can get pasta. So that was great. But basically, it just went so quick. It went from, saving up for one refrigerated delivery vehicle to do the markets. Also, again, working with different councils. So learning how food premises operate mobily and then also in a fixed premises. And it was just one delivery vehicle. Then it was connecting with other small businesses in multiple council and shires, delivering to them, working with them. And it sort of just got too much to do at home. And that's where we decided, well, we have to take the next step. It's a leap of faith. But Dad said to me, if you're going to do it, put 100% into it, because my leave of absence at uni ran out. So I had no plan B. This was the only plan, and we had to do it.
Wow. What's really struck a chord with me was how you have talked about it being a playroom on multiple levels and defining it very differently as you've grown. And I think that's a real fun play on how you see the space and what you're doing with your future.
Yeah, definitely. I think in the beginning I was, like when you're a kid, you remember your TV there, you go in the morning before school at 8 o'clock, play PlayStation, before you get ready to go to primary school, then high school, those years, we had our first dog, our puppy, that was the room there. And then it just changed into now this room where you're making quality pasta products that are not only getting people coming direct to pick up, you're distributing them to other places, and you're also home delivering. And I deliver all the way up to the peninsulas, Mornington Peninsula and Bellarine. And that was all coming from home.
Yeah.
How it was done, I have no idea.
Well, it sounds like that whole term of play and fun is still, I can see it on your face. So, definitely that was so much fun for you. So I can see why it would evolve as quickly as it does. Now, you talked a little bit about planning. You talked a little bit about the growth and how quickly you grew. So behind every business story is a whole lot of that behind the scenes planning, even if it doesn't always start out as a formal process. Did you ever sit down, write a formal business plan in those early days, or did your planning evolve more organically as the business grew?
I think it was more organically, because we got to the stage where the electricity bill at home was through the roof. Again, there was no work-life balance, and it was just constant. You wake up, you go to work. So I was stuck in that routine where it was like working from home during COVID, but it elongated to 5 years. And Mum had to work with me full time as well. So then all of a sudden, I was accidentally roping in the family around me. Was that in my intention? No.
Yeah.
But in order to go to the next stage, you need help. It can't just be your two hands.
Yeah.
So I think the planning and all that was definitely organically, and I'm just making everything up as I go along. And that's what I've been doing since day one. And I think I'm doing okay at it.
Doing okay. Yeah.
But I think the real big move was when I saved up the deposit. Instead of buying my first home like you traditionally would, it was time to buy a commercial property. And that's when I knew that I had to buy somewhere close to home to make it fair for my mum, because I knew she would be working with me full time.
Still working with you,
She still is. And that's when sort of we really connected with the City of Whittlesea. And yeah, sort of just, we were just learning on the job, I guess.
Fabulous. The best way to learn, I think. Best way to learn. So now we're going to fast forward to the fun stuff, which is right now, even though it sounds like you've had so much fun along the way. Now you've got this dedicated production side and your own retail space. That's an incredible leap from where you've started. So what were the key decisions in helping you scale the business from home to now? Was it just purely the volume of sales you were making, or was there something more driving that?
I think it was when you're producing more, you need more help. In order to have people come into the family home, there's limited options of people that you can sort of, allow to come into your home and respect that space and all that. So we thought, well, we need more staff. We also need to have a dedicated place to think about work. And then when we come home, home's home.
Work-life balance.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
And it's the guilt factor too. It's okay, this has gone on long enough. I can see everybody's tired. I'm tired.
Yeah.
And so something had to change. And it was either you get a shop front or you get a space where you can produce and sort of have that space for a kitchen, and then the possibility to also have people to come in and buy from you direct as well.
Great.
So it's almost like my second home, and that's what I'm treating it to be like. So people still know where Nick lives. It's just in Mill Park now.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's really beautiful. And I bet Mum's happy to have the playroom back.
Well, that room is now going to be a sort of a second kitchen for her.
Oh,
so which is nice. Dad's done a really good job with all the tiling and everything. So that room will always be a kitchen of some sort, but a less stressful one now. So
right, something that really stands out about your journey is the way that you've connected with your local council and your community from day one. How did your local council or any external advisors play a role in supporting your growth? And what kind of support do you think made the biggest difference?
So I think that in the beginning, all councils sort of kept to themselves. However, I've been knowing of people have been offering help from multiple councils, and they all talk, which is great. So you deal with the right people and they actually help you, they push you forward. And I was working with, Nillumbik, then the City of Whittlesea, Banyule even at one stage, because half of Greensborough is split in between the two councils. But when we knew that we were relocating to the City of Whittlesea in Mill Park, they already knew who I was and they knew all about me.
We all know who you are.
Yes, everybody knew. And I thought, oh, this is great. But then also fantastic, because now I can approach people and not feel silly asking silly questions. And I'm the first person in my family to do what we're doing. So we're all just learning on the job.
Yeah.
So I think having that support network had made it really easy to find the correct information and know how we're going to move forward. It doesn't happen quickly, but as long as you're going forward, that's the most important thing.
Yeah. Your story is such a great example of how small steps and the support from the right people, like your local council, like your parents, can lead to really big outcomes. What advice would you give to other small business owners who are thinking about formalising their business or taking that next step in growth, but don't know where to start?
I think, so I only lasted one semester in university. I was studying international business.
I was going to ask you what you were going to
Yeah, so that was fun, but I wanted to keep it maybe less international and more local.
Wow.
And I think that's the part where, I had a real ambition, I think, just to learn more about where you live and work with other businesses like that. So I think for a small business owner that's starting and then to take that next step, there's sacrifice. So you're not, this is like your HEX debt, but your HEX debt is you're reinvesting that into yourself rather than at a uni.
What a great way to look at it.
That is the only way to look at it, especially for young people. I'm turning 25 this year. Now's the time to do it. Reinvest in yourself. Yeah. That is the best. I think if I got taught that in high school, I wouldn't have even gone to uni for half a semester.
Wow. That's really great advice. Really great advice. And you talked about being local. So it's all here in the City of Whittlesea, and we want to hear from you about who your favourite local gems are, your go-to guide, the local businesses you wouldn't hesitate to recommend here in the City of Whittlesea. So there's no overthinking now, my friend. Just gut instinct. Are you ready?
Yep. Okay.
Let's go. So your morning coffee fix.
The Mill Park Maccas. Yep, just nice and convenient, close to work.
Nice.
And it's all young kids there too, so it's also nice seeing young ones working, same age as me pretty much. So
Fabulous. What about a bougie lunch?
I think we keep things simple at the factory, but I'm going to have to say probably the Rivergum Village, the chicken shop there. They've gotten us through some long days, long nights. So yeah, I would have to say those guys.
Getting your fitness on? Where do you do that?
Oh, getting a fitness on.
Do you have time?
I used to have time, and that would be probably at the RMIT, the Bandura one there, doing futsal. So,
And what about a place for some me time? Do you ever get some me time?
at the moment, no, but I think it's been Bunnings, to be honest, in Mill Park, because Mum and I just go for a gala event there, and we most recently we bought some plants and things for the outside of the factory. So I think that's our me time. So I think my me time is with my mum.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. Thank you so much, Nick, for sharing your story with us today. Hearing how you've grown Nick Negozio from humble beginnings in your childhood playroom to a full production space and retail outlet is such a powerful example of passion, planning and community connection. It's the kind of story that certainly gives real insight into what it takes to grow a small business. And I know our listeners will take away so much from it. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
A clear, actionable plan can be the difference between surviving and thriving. If today's topic inspired you to refine your business goals, or you have a success story to share, reach out to the City of Whittlesea Economic Development Department. They're here to support your plan every step of the way. If you'd like to follow Nick Negozio or learn more about their business, you can find them on Instagram and Facebook and their website at www.nixnegozio.com.au, and we'll also include all their details in the show notes. Next time on the City of Whittlesea Business Network podcast, we'll be chatting with Kate Opitz from The Saltiest Dog, so be sure to subscribe and tune in. The views and opinions expressed in this episode are those of the speakers and do not reflect the official position of the City of Whittlesea. Information is accurate at the time of the recording. This podcast is for general information only and does not constitute professional advice. For professional advice, please consult a qualified practitioner. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time on the City of Whittlesea Business Network podcast.